It's me, Myra, Down Home Money, a simple approach to financial freedom. And I hope you're doing well today. So, I had an interview. I just finished it live on Facebook to the Pivot Group. And it's a group of real estate agents from all over the country, all different companies, sharing ideas on, right now with the market shifting and the things that's happening in the market. So I wanted to share with you my interview. So here we go. Here comes the interview.
Are live. All right, go ahead.
Live.
We did it. Go ahead, girl.
All right, well, hello, everyone. We're going to go one by one and kind of introduce ourselves, and then we're going to introduce our guest speakers. But my name is Maria DiPoce. I am an assistant team leader. I'm here with Keller Williams in Allen, Texas. And we really wanted to bring some value to this page, as well as, of course, our own network of people. Just value, and really, like, I think the word is like authentic value. There's a lot of noise out there and a lot of people talking about a lot of stuff, but they're not actually talking about anything. It's kind of funny. And so we wanted to just really open up that space to allow real conversations. And of course, Jesse and I connected because of Keller Williams here in the region. And we're kind of kindred spirits, and we see a lot of things the same way. So we thought, hey, let's make this happen. Let's get some value out there, not just for Keller Williams agents, but just for the industry as a whole. And so, Jesse, take it away.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That was not planned, too. So great job. I'm Jesse Newquist. I'm the team leader of Keller Williams in Denton, Texas. And yes, so our guest from, let's see if I can do this off the cuff. Ready? From hairdresser to realtor to #1 agent in our market, to team leader of Keller Williams, to operating principal now of 3 market centers, to published author, to vlogger, and what else did I miss anything?
Dog mom.
And a dog, of course. How could I forget about Izzy and dog mom, Myra Oliver. Welcome, and thank you for taking a couple minutes with us.
Thank
Appreciate you. So really, my main and first question is, that's a long journey, right? And we're talking to business leaders, business owners, and leaders. And at what point in that journey did you realize that you were a leader?
Wow, that is a great question, Jesse. And I think that leadership evolves. I'm not sure that at any point I really realized I was a leader. I realized that I wanted to be a leader early in life, and I realized that I needed to learn from other great leaders. So I became a student of leadership, and I have to give a lot of credit to John Maxwell. I have been a huge fan of Zig Ziglar, John Maxwell, Jim Rohn. They were some of my early days. And then John Maxwell for the last 10 years has been a huge influence on my life.
That's awesome. He's such a great author, and just somebody that you can look up to, even in these times of uncertainty. He's been doing so many live Facebooks that I've been able to jump on. And if there's something he says that's always touched me is, you have to be born, like, you're either born to be a leader or you're not. And if you're born to be a leader, you just know that you have to run towards it. You can't go around it.
Right. And it's a learning process, right? You learn how to lead people, and also you got to love people to lead them, and you've got to want to see them succeed more than yourself. And that's what I love about John Maxwell. I was sitting in an event with John Maxwell. It was a very intimate event. He does a thing called Exchange every year, and there's not that many people to go. It's about 100 people, and I'll never forget it. It changed my life. It was in 2016, and John Maxwell said, success is great, but significance is where it's at. And I had achieved a lot of success in my life. By that point, I was a regional director for Keller Williams in Ohio Valley at that time, and I just started.
That's what I missed. That was it.
There's so much. How do you cover it all?
So I was sitting in that meeting, and I was like, "That's it. That's where I'm going, is significance." And That truly is where you feel like you've really reached a place in your life that you're making a difference. And that's a passion of mine.
Yeah.
Is that had to have tied in quite a bit to what inspired you on the wealth coaching piece of that journey? You had shared a book with me that, for those of y'all that don't know, as team leader, the operating principle, Myra is my boss, and not the first not the first book that you had me read, but the first book you had me read when you hired me was a book called Work Optional, which I think is great as on a first day employee. But that book changed my mindset quite a bit around money. And I was going to ask you to talk a little bit about that in particular, how we all love cute clothes, right? But how that $100 sweater equates to time lost down the road.
Yeah.
I love this, by the way. Please, Myra, talk about that.
Okay, so I got to tell you, I'm from Kentucky, so I was raised in rural Kentucky, and we weren't poor, but we weren't rich either. Okay, so and I'm not sure, we might have been considered middle class, probably, because middle class is a different state than it would be where we are today, right?
Yeah.
And both my mom and dad were college educated. So they were pretty successful in our little town as school teachers. So I will tell you that being raised that way, and I watched my mom and dad struggle trying to make sure that we 3 kids had everything we wanted, not needed, wanted.
Wow.
And so I watched them teach school all day, and I watched them both work jobs at night to see to it that we had what we wanted. And I got to be honest with you, it made me, I was the youngest. I worked 2 jobs through high school and didn't ask my parents for anything because I hated watching them sacrifice for me to have. And
That
so,
gives me goosebumps.
I mean, I was really, I felt bad. I bought my first car, and I watched that, and it made me really sad because I was watching my parents work their whole life just to provide for me and my brother and sister. So I guess my mindset at that time, it made me really realize what was important. So in my 20s, I bought my first business at 19, a hair salon. I moved to Texas. I just, big hair was in. My grandmother was a hairstylist, and I wasn't going to college. So I'm going to do hair, and I'm going to Texas. Dallas is on TV. It's the 80s, and the hair's big. So here I come. So I
love it.
Me too.
Salon, and I started working to build my business, and I read a book that changed my life, and I'm going to show it to you.
Okay.
This is it. This is the new version, but this is the first book I read. It's called Your Money or Your Life.
Ooh, okay.
This is the new version, and this is the one you want. So if you go buy it at the bookstore, you don't really want this one. You want the new version by Vicki Robin.
Okay.
And this book got me thinking about my money and my life and what I wanted my future to look like. And so this is what changed my life. I got really super hyper focused on buying passive income streams and buying rental property. And I was also investing in my SEP plan for my retirement. I just got really purposeful. So by the age 33, I retired and was making about $5,000 a month on my rental income, net profit a month. And my husband was able to retire. And so we went into retirement, and we had about 10 rental properties. 8 of them were paid for. We worked day and night, 12 to 14-hour days, but it's not how much money you make. It's how much money you keep. So back to that sweater. I'm not going to be buying any of those sweaters. I'm buying assets. I buy assets with my money. I don't buy stuff, and I don't get caught up in consumerism. My car's 5 years old. Of course, it's paid for. My home's paid for. I'm debt free.
If you you mention this often, that you paid off your house, your first house, when you were still a hairdresser on $5 haircut.
Yes. Oh yes, and I bought rental properties in Dallas. HUDs, there were lots of HUD foreclosures, and I was buying them for $15,000, $20,000. My husband and I, we would save our money. We bought our first house for $35,000, and now worth about 175. I still own it. That's 33 years ago. And so,
Well,
still
and you
own
know what? That brings such a good point, Mara, because like, you know, right now we're talking about being in a shift, right? And shift tactic number one is about mindset, right? It's all about how you, the way you look at, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change, right? And so right now more than ever, this is why I'm so I'm sad about what's going on, but I'm excited about the shift that's happening, because there's going to be what I call wealth redistribution, especially for the people that know what they're doing. And us as real estate professionals, this is the time for us to take advantage of that, right? Like, we're the ones that are getting the phone calls from the people that are gonna be behind on payments because they're getting bought into this payment for what is it called, forbearance, or you know, where unfortunately what the banks are now telling people is that you will have to make up these payments at some point. And if they can't make their payments now, they won't be able to make their payments 6 months from now. So, I mean, are you looking at the real estate market, Myra, and kind of keeping your eye on that sector right now and thinking that you're going to pick up a few more rental properties in the next year or two?
So, you know, what happened with me is I quit doing hair. I sold my hair salon, and I was retired for 3 years. I got so bored. I'm 36 years old. What am I going to do? And I was buying rental properties, and I felt like a lot of the real estate agents I knew more than some of them. You know, I mean, just being honest. And I got my real estate license. So in 2001, horrible time, right? 9/11. And I got my real estate license, and 9/11 happens. And and so I will tell you, I continued to buy all through that period of time. My portfolio is 35 properties. I have commercial, I have residential, and I have apartments. But I bought it through the bad times. Like I was telling you, I've been waiting for this moment. I haven't bought anything in 2 years besides my building in Northern Kentucky that I have my Keller Williams office in. And so I've been waiting for this. This is exciting. Listen, I bought properties in 2009. I went crazy out there at that Cross Oak Ranch in Little Elm. I mean, I was selling to my investors, and I made all of them rich. I mean, I was buying houses out there that right now are selling for $225,000. I bought them for $60,000 and $80,000. That's anywhere between $60,000.
Wow.
All the way up to 2013. I was buying them in those price points. So we've got an opportunity here. This is exciting. This is where people get rich.
Right. And people that take action.
Yeah, you got to take action. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't be frozen in fear.
No. So what was it around? So let's say, all right, I'm a real estate agent. I've been, let's say I'm new. I'm in it a year, and I did okay, and I am frozen right now. Like, we get all of this great instruction from Keller Williams leadership, right? That exactly what we need to be doing. We need to be signing up for Bold Pivot. We need to be connecting with our database. We need to be buying anything that we can. We need to be remarginalizing our businesses. But I'm still stuck, and I'm still in fear. What is the thing? What is the best advice you have for that agent?
You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I would tell you, choose wisely. I hang out with successful, happy, positive, great mindset, and learning-based people. And if you will do that, your life will change, because you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So I first share that because you're a part of your own environment. I also would tell you, be listening to positive information. Turn that TV off. The news is going to kill you. And I would just tell you, turn it off and get you some great podcasts. Listen to Gary Keller's podcast.
That's great. This season of Think Like a CEO is amazing.
Because we all need to be thinking like a CEO, and we all need to take control of our futures. And what I find is a lot of people just go through life, right? And they let it happen. I choose to make it happen.
That's awesome.
That's what you got to do. And so I think that's the hardest part for people today is taking action. I will tell you, you're going to be, fear means that you're taking action. We all have fear. I mean, this last year for me has been the most vulnerable year of my life. I mean, writing a book and starting a new company and being just vulnerable. I mean,
Tell us about the book.
Yeah, well, I have a book coming out. It's now, matter of fact, I've got the manuscript this week, and it'll be out. So it takes 5 months from now. So it'll be out about August, September. And my book is called Down Home Money: A Simple Approach to Financial Freedom. It is a book about it is about money, life, and real estate, but most importantly, it really shows that ordinary people can have extraordinary lives. Because once you become disciplined with your money and you start saying no to that sweater, that $100 sweater, and you start saying yes to paying yourself first and buying assets that are going to throw you off of passive income, your life gets big. I haven't had to work since age 33. I don't worry about money. This time doesn't scare me at all. I have passive income streams that are bringing in money, and I don't share that with you to impress you. I want to impress upon you. I became a millionaire from cutting $5 haircuts.
Myra, this brings me to the question I have for you, because you and I have met obviously through the region, but then we bumped into each other at the Ohio Valley region when I was up there. And we just got into conversation about your wealth determiner, right? Like, who are you a wealth determiner for, and who is a wealth determiner for you, because whose world you're in matters, right? And we talked about, and even with you saying you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around with. So my question to you was, who do you feel like was your wealth determiner, and how has that empowered you, and what has the ripple effect been of that? I mean, obviously Jessie now is in your world, so we're seeing the fruits of that, which is so awesome, because she has an amazing story as well. So, I mean, who do you really feel like was a big wealth determiner for you, and what was the ripple effect of that?
So, great question. And early on, so remember, I started my business at 19. I watched my grandmother stand behind a chair cutting hair. And so she probably was one of my first wealth determiners, just watching her, because I was pretty intrigued by the handing of the money after you get done, right? Yeah. I mean, as a kid, you're watching them, she hand her money. I like that handing of money. So that's probably the first. And watching my parents with such strong work ethics. I mean, they had incredible work ethics, and they did network marketing at night. They made it to the Pearl level, Emerald level and Amway. And my uncle,
oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
My uncle was a diamond, so they had worked their way through. So learning from them, and my mom and dad played Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar. Yeah. I mean, everywhere we went, there was a cassette tape, people. I don't know if y'all know what that is. There was this thing called a cassette tape, and they had those tapes. They were popping those tapes and listening to those tapes. So I think that's what really helped me, because I really didn't have any wealthy role models in my life at that time. It was more of just positive mindset, which, later became, I got in business later on with wealth determiners.
Yeah.
And one of my first was a school teacher. My first broker in Denton, Texas was a school teacher who now owns over 250 properties. And so I worked with him for 10 years selling real estate. I became the #1 individual agent in Denton when I was working for him for 10 years. And so, I mean, he's just a down-home country boy. And I love that. And if you've ever read any books like The Millionaire Next Door or The Next Millionaire Next Door, there's a lot of blue-collar millionaires out there. They're just not flashy. You don't know they got any money. Mm-hmm. And if you saw him, you would think he was broke. He's got holes in his shoes and holes in his shirt, and he's smiling all the time. So I think that's important.
It's like Gene Rivers. He always says he drives this beat-up car in the market center. I think he calls her Berta or something. And he's like, I don't care. I'm driving it to my beach house in Florida.
That's right. I love that part of the story too, Myra. When you came to Keller Williams as a team leader, that was a decision that you made as the #1 real estate agent in the market. You were the #1, and you gave up that to come to Keller Williams because you saw how big it could be. But by that point, you also knew money, and
right.
And you had other passive income streams, and so the giant difference in what you were making right off the bat from that one job, from your main job. You knew money already, so it didn't make and you saw the opportunity, so it didn't keep you away from it. I think that's great.
You know, you asked the question about leadership, and and going from running a real estate business by myself, I was an individual agent. I didn't know any different. I was selling 100 homes a year by myself, no assistant. I did it all. And so I didn't know any difference. And then I started watching Keller Williams, and then Jim and Linda McKissick reached out to me when they were hiring a team leader. And I just laughed, and I was like, okay, the salary is what?
You're kidding, right?
I laughed, right? But I was the president of the board of realtors during the worst time of the last time we had a shift. I was the president in 2009, and our board had gone in half. So I know what happened during these times. It went in total half. I was a secretary treasurer in 2006. And from 2006 to 2009, when we went through that shift the last time, we went in half. And so when Jim and Linda called me, they knew I loved leadership and I love helping people. There's nothing better than watching other people succeed. Nothing. And so they knew that about me. So when they approached me, and then they explained, I didn't really know what the team leader did. You know, there hadn't been good people for me to watch over there from where I was at, right? Because we look different from the outside looking in than from the inside.
So true. It's so true.
It's amazing. And
it looks real glamorous on the outside.
Yeah. So when I got there, I took a chance, and wow, what a great opportunity. I mean, I spent 3 years as the team leader. I loved it. That's the best job in Keller Williams, I think. And I've had them all now. And I've been the OP, and then I'm the OP now for 3 offices in Columbus, Ohio. And then I'm in Northern Kentucky, and then Denton. And so, and then I became a regional director. So I spent 4.5 years growing the Ohio Valley region, and was able to double that region in 4.5 years, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, and you know, our agent count. So it's been a great ride. Now I'm doing my passion, and it's more of a passion project for me, not a money project, which is phenomenal. I mean, it's so great to be working a passion project.
It's going to make money. Anything you touch is going to, it's going to make money.
I love that. And you know what? Money comes when you do the right thing, right? When you help enough people get what they want, you automatically get what you want. It's crazy. Yeah. But I love helping people. I've got somebody I'm coaching right now that I've been working with for 2 years. Coming up in August, she will be debt free. She had $86,000 of credit card debt 2 years ago.
Wow.
$1,000 a year. She has a steady paycheck. She works a regular job, like we like to say as real estate agents. Regular job. So anyway, but the goal is to get her debt free. So it just shows you how if you get passionate about something and you're committed and you put consistent effort, and the same thing with lead gen, the same thing with building a real estate business, right? All these are the same. Yeah. Building wealth is no different than building your real estate business. You have to do it with passion, commitment, and consistency in your efforts and your behavior. And so she has been so consistent. So we're going to have a big party, a debt-free party, come August, because she will be totally debt-free. And I've been working with her. I coach once a month for my wealth clients. So it's a lot of fun. I do it for free. It's my way of giving back. I'm so blessed.
Awesome. That's awesome.
That is so cool.
We've had you for a half hour, Myra, and I really want to know. I know the answer already, but this is just a cool fun fact about Myra. What do you do every morning to protect your energy?
Oh, girl. So I walk 5 miles a day, and
that blows my mind. You walk 5 miles every day.
How long does that take you?
It takes me about an hour and a half.
Wow.
And, you know, it is my time, and I will be so honest with you. I never worked out a day in my life until 2 years ago. And when I resigned from the regional director position, I knew I was moving towards my passion and some things I wanted to do in life that I've just put off because I was so busy. And working out was one of them. And so I just made a decision. Every morning I'm up by 6 a.m. and I'm out walking, and I'm enjoying the birds and the sun and just life. It is the best. I mean, it's the best therapy you have ever had. I'm serious. Go try it. It is fantastic. And you know, the advantages of weight loss and all that just comes with it. Now I can eat whatever I want again. So I love that. It's kind of like being 20 years old again.
I love that.
I got to add that to my schedule. I got to move my clock up an hour to do it.
It's worth it.
Hey,
It's worth
listen,
it.
it's worth it. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you, it's a great time to listen on Audible to set your days for success. You know, I read 106 books last year on Audible because of my walk.
Yeah. You're condensing time frames. I always talk about that. I always say, you know, we don't want to
Great point.
multitask, but how do we condense time frames? How can we be doing one thing like working out, for example, but like you said, like listen to audiobooks. One of the things I miss the most while this is going on, because we're all working from home, is my drive to the office.
Yeah.
Because I used to be able to consume 20, 30 minutes worth of audiobooks. So that's a great point, Myra, is to do, you know, spend an hour walking and you're listening to just as much audio as you were when you were driving, except now it's actually better for you, you know?
Yeah.
I do it while I'm getting ready.
Yeah,
this morning,
for
because
sure.
I don't know about y'all, but did not wake up like this.
No.
And
What do you mean? I got up and I looked exactly like this.
yeah, you do. Yes. No, when my market center is about 4.5 minutes away from my house, so I take a long route so I can listen to music and listen to books. But
that's awesome.
Gotta do it. Myra, any other final thoughts? Anything else you want to leave us with?
I just want you to know, as money gives you options, and a lot of people don't want to talk about money, but we got to talk about money. Money gives you options, and it gives you freedom of choice. And I just want to share with you that every dollar you save makes a difference. And really start paying yourself first. Real estate agents, we have the opportunity. We're not limited on our income like nurses or policemen or school teachers. We have an opportunity. The sky's the limit. And so, but what we do with the money is what makes the difference. Just be smart with your money, because you don't want to work your whole life. You won't. I mean, as you get older, you want more freedom. You want more time to do those things that are on your bucket list. So what I want to share is get really diligent with your money so that you can live a really big life at a later date. And I'm grateful I had a guy, when I was cutting hair, I had a gentleman who had a gold Rolex, and he'd pull up in a Lexus, and so he was a business broker in Dallas, had a lot of money. And he was one of my, every couple of weeks clients for cutting his hair. And he gave me the best advice, so I'm going to pass it on today. His advice was open a SEP plan. Go get you a Vanguard account. Vanguard is the cheapest. They charge the least for their fees and for their funds. And I would tell you, be investing in index funds, whether it's $100 a month or $500 a month, whatever you can do. It's a straight write-off for those that are self-employed. But that will be the smartest thing. If you will start doing that, especially if you're in your 20s and 30s, if you'll start doing that, by the time you get your 50s or 60s, you'll have over $1 million, I promise, from compounding. So,
wow, that's amazing. Amazing advice. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Myra. You can
much.
subscribe to Down Home Money on YouTube. Just search Down Home Money. She pops right up. She has incredible content and guests and videos. Interviews are amazing. And the book in September, Down Home Money, Myra Oliver, published author. That's crazy to say. Congratulations and thank you.
Education worked out for me.
Awesome.
Sure did. Maria, thank you too. And I'll see you real soon. I'll see you both real soon.
All right, ladies. Good talk. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye, y'all.